Catalysts of power. Doubt not, fear not, work on and wait. As sure as dawn shall conquer dark, so love will triumph over hate, and spring will bring again the lark. Douglas Malloch. Nearly 2,000 years before Christ, it was said in the Vedas, the sacred writings of the Hindus, that if any two people would unite their psychic forces, they could conquer the world, even though singly they could do nothing. Then came Jesus to tell us even more positively that if two of us agree on touching anything we may ask, it shall be done for us. Jesus never made any such positive promise of certain results when we pray alone. Why should it be necessary for two to unite their desires or prayers in order to be sure of results? If you add 2 to 2, you get only 4. If you add your muscular power to mine, you can lift only twice as much as either of us could lift alone. Yet if you add your prayers to mine, you get not merely twice the power, but 100 or 1,000 times as much. Why should this be? We have the word of many great psychologists that it is so. Judge Troward of England, who was to the British Empire what Professor William James was to America, is authority for the statement, as is Brown Landone and a score of psychologists of lesser note. What is the reason? Perhaps the answer lies in what chemists call catalysts. In chemistry, there are certain substances that, when added to others, release many thousands of times as much power as they themselves contain. These catalysts, without losing any of their own energy, multiply the energy in other substances by thousands and sometimes even by millions. Perhaps that is what happens when two or more unite as touching the thing they shall pray for. Perhaps one is a catalyst, multiplying the power of the other by thousands upon thousands of times. Certain it is that even Jesus, when those about him were not in sympathy with him and did not believe in him, as on the occasion of his visit to Nazareth, worked no mighty works. Perhaps that is why, when he sent out his disciples to heal the sick, he sent them out 2 by 2. Be that as it may, one thing is sure, if 2 or more of you will get together for a minute or 2 each day, and really agree as touching the thing you shall ask and the way you shall ask for it, you will get amazing results. Mind you, it is not enough to merely pray together for the same thing. You must unite your thought. You may ask me to pray with you that you may be healed of an ulcerated stomach, and when we pray, you may be picturing those sores and thinking of the pain and trouble they have been causing, while I am picturing the perfect organ that God gave you. That is not uniting our forces. That is setting them in opposition. We must both think about health. We must both see in our mind's eye the thing we want, not the one we fear or wish to be rid of. The same is true of debts. You may be thinking of all the money you owe, of the mortgage that is falling due to the cut in pay you had to take, while I am trying to help you by thinking of the infinite supply that God is sending you. We'd never accomplish much that way. We've both got to think of and visualize riches, not debts or lack. We've got to remember that the debts or other wrong conditions are merely the lack of riches or health or other good things, and that when we provide the good, the evil disappears as naturally as darkness disappears when you turn on the light. So what we must think of and see in our mind's eye is the light, i.e. the riches or the perfect health or the love or other good thing we desire. If two can unite in doing that, there is no good thing they can ask, believing, that they cannot get. In the preceding chapter, we quoted the article by Elizabeth Gregg in Nautilus, telling how 5 women prayed together, and every prayer was answered. And in chapter 5, we told of a similar group in Russell Conwell's church who accomplished even more marvelous results through united prayer. You have problems too great to be solved by you alone. And you have friends with problems that they are unable to handle. Why not get together and unite your forces? Why not meet for 15 minutes once a week, talk over your difficulties, decide upon the case that seems most pressing, and then at a certain time each day, all of you drop whatever you are doing and give a minute or 2 to uniting your thought and your prayers. You can do it, and you will be amazed at the power of your united prayers. There is nothing of good you can ask, believing, that cannot and will not be done for you. No star is ever lost we once have seen. We always may be what we might have been.